Welcome to the Reading Right app tour. If your app shows an update option, then kindly hit the update button to access the latest features. Once your app has opened up, you will notice that it requires you to log in using an OTP if you're logging in for the very first time. Feel free to provide the number because this is going to be kept very confidential and we will never ever spam you. So please be comfortable to go ahead and provide your number and receive an OTP to access the app. Once you're on the app, you will see that there are a bunch of Smarticles that are made available to you. Since you're not part of any institution, you will only see limited access to the Smarticles. Let's quickly take a look at what Smarticles are. Smarticles are nothing but educationally relevant articles that have been taken from multiple sources. You can look at the browse section to take a look at which are the sources that we work with. These are not exhaustive in nature and they're always growing, and all of these publications that we work with have no binding arrangement with us for the simple reason that we want to maintain the quality of the articles that are selected, and hence none of these publications have any mandate whatsoever in terms of what articles we choose and which articles we discard regardless of our arrangement of working with them. Which means the only criteria that we follow during article selection is that of 100% quality, making sure that the content is not only great in terms of the way it is being written, but also in terms of the factual knowledge that it provides, and also to make sure that it is commercialization free and at the same time free from any controversies that may be harmful for the reader's mind. When we look at these articles, we'll tap open one of them to understand how it is being explained using our app. Our app is the first to have created the tap technology, and this technology helps you to understand every word line concept with a simple tap right there. When you open up an article, it requires you to unlock it in case you haven't unlocked it. So feel free to unlock the article and make sure you spare the 1 credit that it asks you to. Please look at the screen to see how it has been unlocked. Once you open the article, you will see that the article pans out in the following manner. It starts with the background story.
Every 5 years.
This is very important because the background story is what eventually gives you the context to the entire article. Once you've understood the context of the background, it is a lot more easier for you to dive into the article. Please note that the background story is not providing you any summary. The reason for such is we want you to actually read the article and not just get a summary version of it, which is why the duty of the background story is only to provide you enough and more context that will be helpful and relevant for you to understand all aspects of the article. Once you've gone through the background story, you will be then going through the article bit by bit. As you go along the article, you will be able to comfortably read and learn everything that there is in it, for the simple reason that we have made sure that we provide explanations every step of the way. In order to provide these explanations more easily to you, we have divided this into 4 different types of buttons or click options, as you can see on the app. You will see some red highlight buttons, you will see some blue highlight buttons, some question mark buttons, as well as some bulb buttons. We'll quickly understand and interpret what each of these are for. When you click on the blue highlight buttons, they will give you the word meaning of that word, tailor-made to the context of the article. It is very important that you get contextualized word meanings because Google a lot of times is unable to interpret what exactly is meant in that particular line. Then we go on to understand what the concept meanings are. Concept meanings are different from the word meanings in the sense that it is a lot more detailed and domain specific. Since it belongs to a certain domain, it gives you the perspective from that domain. For example, when we understand the meaning of this word Rajya Sabha, we'll understand it from the perspective of policy or the legal side of things. This is how concept meanings are a lot more detailed and a lot more elucidative compared to the word meanings. Third is the line explanations. It is very important to note that lines that are explained binds the entire set of words or combination of lines together. Sometimes these line explanations also hold some paragraphs. It is very important that these lines are explained and bound together for the simple reason that we always understand the words and the concepts in silos, but never in the sense of what it actually adds up to be in the context of a line, bunch of lines, paragraphs, or even the article as a whole. We are the first organization to be able to provide the line meaning explanations. Moving on further, we will understand what it is that the bulb buttons provide. The bulb buttons are nothing but extra facts. These extra facts are provided to students in case if something gets missed out in the article. The researchers who are explaining these articles will provide those additional details so as to make sure that anything that is important for you to learn and know is getting covered in these bulb buttons. They provide added perspective if known. Each of these buttons are numbered so that you can actually get a reference whenever you have any doubts. You can reach out to our researcher at the end of the article here and chat with them. At the end of the article, you will see an analysis button. This analysis button is where the thinking modules kick in. We have 8+ thinking modules right from critical thinking and lateral thinking. Each of these modules cater to various aspects such as structuring, stakeholder analysis, impact analysis, and the like. These help you to understand various aspects of the article, get into the topic from multiple perspectives, and at the same time garner critical and lateral thinking perspectives. This is very important for a reader to learn and know, as this is what binds the entire learning and know-how of the entire article. When you go through the analysis, please know that this has been created by the very researchers who are field experts or practitioners. Hence, they're giving you real-time takes on what actually is taking place in the world. The analysis is again not a summary of the main article, but it only analyzes the topic. Hence, it is very important that a reader reads the article. The analysis is also an infographic video that has been prepared by Team Reading Guide.
We see that it is very important that proper...
Please go through the video to understand the details. Next up, let us understand what is it that these explanation buttons provide. Do they just provide text, or is there more to it? Well, each of these explanation buttons are fully capable of holding text, images that can be zoomed into, videos, and even audio. It is upon the researcher to understand what is the need of that explanation and accordingly provide information. A lot of times we see that additional information is substantiated using videos, as this helps the reader understand in a lot more detail. For example, if you see here, you will notice that here with the explanation of that of one aspect of a parliament proceeding has been substantiated with a live parliament proceeding video. This is a small clipping taken from an actual parliament proceeding that is in relation to this article and also to this concept. Overall, this helps to understand the meaning of that concept better. Concept, line, word meanings as well as bulb buttons, all of them have 4 modal explanations as specified: text, video, audio as well as image. Once you have read the article, at the bottom of the article you will see an option to take a quiz. You can click on it and take the quiz. Unfortunately, the quizzes don't open unless you've actually read the article. Now, how will you know if you've read the article? You can decipher from the status here on the top right corner. This shows an unread status, hence the quiz is not getting unlocked. It is very important that you read the article and then eventually get access to the quiz. Just like in this case. Take the quiz and generate the results. Please also know that this red status does not come if you leave the article open for hours together. If you tap open on all the explanations, then too the unread status will not change to a red status. You could even be gazing on your screen and not reading. Even then, the unread status does not change to a red status. It only changes to a red status if you have actually read the article. Much to the dismay of students, but to the approval of the teachers. This reading algorithm is providing wonders for all the learners to be able to monitor them on a regular basis. It's very important to be thus reading the article, because eventually it is that which is going to give us a full-length experience and understanding of what we need to learn. Let's check out this next feature of bionic reading. Did you notice that some of the words went half bold? In fact, a lot of these words are bold in nature, for the simple reason that we are going to enable you with bionic reading experience, which is eventually leading to speed reading exercise. What is it that this does? When you see that half of these words are highlighted in bold, it basically indicates to your brain to be able to complete the word, as the brain is attracted to the first half of the word. So when we are reading the word Canada, typically the brain completes the word before you've actually finished reading. This is what enables you to read much faster. So in case if you're practicing speed reading, make sure you enable bionic reading, and you can disable it when you do not feel like reading in a speed reading mode. Next up, let's quickly understand who is it that these researchers are. We've spoken a lot about our content research team and we've told you the exercise that they're doing. But it's important to note who these people are. These are not only people who have studied very well in that domain, but are also practitioners in that very domain. We are very proud of the same and hence provide their credentials at the bottom of every article. Hence, you will notice that for this particular article, for that matter, we have somebody who's got a degree which is in engineering in food technology along with an in-depth experience in food product development, because this article caters to the same. Each of these researchers are thus eventually from that very domain. So for instance, if a person is explaining a legal article, they necessarily have to be having a degree in law and also be practicing law currently. Same goes for policy experts. They have to have a degree in policy or otherwise have similar nature of degree and have to be working in the space of policy currently. So the work experience is what adds those little nuances to this article, and this is also very helpful for each of the students to learn what's going on field. Hence, all our researchers are by absolute mandate field experts and currently working in the field of the domain that they're explaining. Next up, let us quickly understand what is this Let's Revise button. Because we're an EdTech startup, we understand the importance of revision, which is why we have a section for you to revise concepts, meanings, create flashcards, and even test this out with your friends. So go ahead and revise and have fun when you do so. You can flip these questions front and back and then enjoy using these flashcards. Add any word meaning or concept meaning to the favorite section by simply tapping the heart button there, and then you will find them in the favorite section here. Let us take a look at the other features. When you long press any of the words, you will see an option to get dictionary meaning. This is nothing but the Google meanings. So in case if you want interpretations which are not very contextualized but general meaning for a lot of words which haven't been provided, feel free to tap on this and get the Google meaning instantly. You can even add notes. Add notes of your own choice and color code the same. You can color code them based on various categories that you would like to provide to them. You can even filter these notes out and mark only and uncheck all those that you don't want to see. If you want to see certain colors, you can check on the same. Feel free to even edit the notes once you've added them. Now that we've taken a look at notes, it's important to also look at other additional features. Click on this try button here and you will see there's an option to translate into any original language which is your local language. Make sure you translate any of these words that you find difficult to interpret. You can even pronounce
everything.
This and a lot more features are built in on the app to be able to give you a full-length exposure of the same. So go ahead and explore that very quickly. To find what each of these buttons interpret, you can use the I button to give you a full demonstration. You can even share these articles with your friends. Please note the entire thing has been explained using two formats. This is very important for you to understand. Whenever we are explaining these articles, you are understanding it from two standard perspectives. One is that from your school curriculum and one is that from your workforce requirement. In order to learn this better, click on the Browse section and go over to By Curriculum. Each of the articles that are provided under two avenues as mentioned earlier. Under Institute Curriculum, you will be able to select which institute, which class you belong to, and based on that, you will get a list of chapters from every subject, and every subject then has certain articles appended to it. Once you've studied the articles which are allotted to you for Institute Curriculum, you can also explore articles from the RR Curriculum which is oriented to the workforce. This is a generic curriculum and is made keeping in mind what students or eventually future workforce would require. This comes from various categories and multiple topics. It includes basic ideas such as how banks work, what is bankruptcy, etc. The categories that are covered in the curriculum section under the RR curriculum includes business, science, technology, Indian politics, startups and industries, and many more. feel free to explore the same in the by category section. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. Feel free to bookmark any of the articles that you deem important and explore various other features here by observing the same on the app. Do give us a feedback as and when, because we take that very, very seriously. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy reading.
Do you read newspapers? We didn't think so either. What if you had an expert from every field to explain ideas and topics from their domain in a matter that is so simple that even a 10-year-old can learn just as easily as any of you adult heads? Well, here's introducing Smarticles by Reading Right. Smart news articles explained by rigorously well-read field experts. After a careful selection, these articles have been made available to you in its original form from the only hand-picked worthy publications, while the explanations are inserted on it using an unmatched technology. So now, you can learn word meanings, understand a concept, or get detailed text and video explanations to any line in the article just by a simple tap right there. And we guarantee that you will never feel lost about any topic anymore, even if you don't read newspapers at all. Get ready to smart, only with Reading Right. Statutory warning: not everyone can handle this level of smart, so log on to web.readingright.in or download the Reading Right app from Play Store or App Store at your own risk.